Good morning. You're listening to The Voice Maven. I'm Lucy Floyd, reading the latest news to you from my professional recording studio right here in beautiful Centennial, Colorado. I'm thrilled to be starting my own audio blog for those of you out there who are either blind, visually impaired, or have trouble reading. I intend to share with you various news articles, mostly from the New York Times, that I find interesting. And I hope you will too. Now, let's begin. Election 2016. Takeaways from Tuesday's election. It was a big night for Republicans. Turnout matters, and other things you need to know. Victories for Republicans. They won the night's biggest election, Matt Bevin's upset victory for Kentucky governor. Religious conservatives defeated the anti-discrimination ordinance in Houston. Republicans held on to the Virginia Senate, keeping control of both houses of the legislature in a big defeat for Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe. The sheriff under fire for the San Francisco sanctuary city approach to immigration was defeated. Running against Obama still works in red states. Mr. Bevin hammered his opponent as a rubber stamp for President Obama, attacking his policies on everything from health care to coal industry regulations. Democrats have suffered a double-digit loss of governorships during Mr. Obama's presidency. In 2009, the year Mr. Obama took office, there were Democratic governors in 28 states, according to the National Governors Association. With Mr. Bevin's election, the Democratic ranks will include just 17 governors. Turnout, turnout, turnout. The Democrats once again had a bad off-year election. In Kentucky, where polls showed Mr. Bevin trailing, fewer than 31% of voters turned out. If Democrats turn out once every 4 years, they're doomed in years they don't have a presidential candidate. Democrats and liberals had some wins. They did very well in mayor's races, including relatively conservative cities like Charlotte, North Carolina, and Indianapolis. They ousted conservative school board members in Colorado supported by conservative groups backed by the Koch brothers. They prevailed in a big Supreme Court election in Pennsylvania, winning all 3 open seats in the most expensive judicial race in history and taking back control of the court. They gained seats in the New Jersey legislature. Amid the Republican tide in the South, they won small victories when Democratic Attorney General Jim Hood survived in Mississippi and Democrats narrowly kept 2 offices in Kentucky. Andy Beshear was elected Attorney General, and Allison Lundergan Grimes was re-elected as Secretary of State. It wasn't all partisan. There were glimmers of bipartisan cooperation on good government or campaign finance issues in 3 states. In Ohio, voters approved a commission to reduce politics and end gerrymandering in legislative elections. Maine and Seattle approved campaign finance measures aimed at limiting the influence of big money. Both are efforts to design public funding systems that will encourage more small donors. San Francisco turns down Airbnb curbs. Voters in San Francisco rejected a measure aimed at Airbnb that would have limited short-term rentals, setting a tough precedent that could reverberate in other communities that have been struggling over what to do about the increasingly popular program. The result was a blow to affordable housing advocates who say that too many landlords are renting to wealthy vacationers rather than middle-class families. Voters also rejected halting new construction in the Mission District, a historically Latino area that has been overrun with high-income technology workers. Mayor Ed Lee, a voice of moderate Democrats, won re-election, but a fellow moderate he backed for Board of Supervisors lost, meaning the board will be controlled by Democrats who oppose aggressive development. Voters in San Francisco, which has been pummeled by an affordable housing crisis, also approved a $310 million bond issue to create new housing. Education proposal fails in Mississippi. Voters in Mississippi turned down a proposal that would have bolstered education funding. Voters rejected a proposed constitutional amendment that would have allowed litigation to force lawmakers to fully fund the state's public education formula every year, after the state had only done so twice in the last 18 years. The ballot question itself was 2-tiered and somewhat confusing. Deliberately so, said proponents of the initiative, but the campaign in favor of the amendment was robust and amply funded. If the initiative had passed, it might have provided a blueprint for Democrats in other states whose policy goals are frozen out of solidly Republican legislatures. It ain't over. There are mayoral runoffs to come in cities including Houston and Charleston, South Carolina, and in perhaps the year's most volatile election, polls currently show John Bell Edwards, a Democrat, with a lead over David Vitter, a Republican, in the November 21 vote to succeed Bobby Jindal as Louisiana governor. in a solidly Republican state with a history of outlandish politics. Expect more plot turns to come. I'm Lucy Floyd, your voice maven. Stay tuned for tomorrow's news. In the meantime, enjoy your day and visit my website at www.voice-maven.com. That's www.voice-maven.com. Thanks for listening.